Hello there, channel members, friends, and followers from around the world. This is Q8 Pilot, your host for tonight's show. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you another preview of the E-Jets family by X-Crafts. And we're going to be flying the E170 variant, the smallest of the family of E-Jets. I want to welcome all of you guys to this live stream. Omari, Captain Lee, Pilot MB Gamers, Adam, Rand Coley. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard, Peter. Welcome, Peter. Glad to have you with us this evening. We have also Mats and Fly Lilo. Happy birthday, my friend. Thank you very much for being here. I wish you all the best. I hope you're enjoying your special day. Watching stream, welcome aboard, my friend. Alex Aviation. And we have also Benjamin George Jr. Good day to you, my friend. Welcome the show. Hello, my friend. FNAF2231. Welcome, my friend. And we have also John with us today. Welcome, guys. I'm very excited to be doing this stream today. I have the all clear from the guys over at X-Crafts who bring to you this live stream. And by the way, we are still going to be doing another live stream with the executive director of X-Crafts. Marco himself will be with us on a stream to tell us all about the development of the aircraft and all the nice things that have been developed into it. Now, worthwhile saying that amongst the testers have been a great bunch of real-world Embraer pilots. And one of the questions asked on the first look video that I've done is this aircraft study level? And Marco, I think, has answered that in a very smart way. And he said, it's not study level, it is authentic level. And we're going to be taking a look today at what he means by authentic level, because this aircraft is all about the authenticity. It's the authenticity of the model, the authenticity of the systems, and the depth of system simulation is something really to be commended. So this is our beautiful E170, the smallest of the Aegis family. And as you can see, again, we've taken a look at all the textures. So today we're going to get right to it. But I can't help but to admire the beautiful work that they've done here. Let me just show you here. You can see the landing gear. The texturing is done so well. Here is a wing view for you guys. Again, done very, very nicely. And by the way, this aircraft has also passenger announcements. So there are passenger cabin announcements as well. Look at the beautiful texturing. Look at that engine, the texturing, the curvatures. Everything's just done so well. It's really, really nice to see something of this fidelity in X-Plane 12. Now, back in the cockpit, let's take a quick look at our flight plan before we depart. Let me maximize the view here so you guys can follow along. Our flight today is a very short flight from Ronald Reagan Regional Airport. We are going to be heading to LaGuardia in New York. We're flying from Washington, the capital, and we're going to be heading to LaGuardia. Our flight is a very short flight. We're going to be cruising at 25,000 feet, about 45-minute flight. We're going to be departing the Ronald Reagan runway 01 through the Dr. 5 and the ADDONS transition. And we're going to be arriving into LaGuardia runway 04 through the Corey 4 star. And yeah, let's take a quick look at our approach. So this is the airport information for those of you unfamiliar with the airport. We are currently... let me see here. Let me bring this up here so maybe we can log it. Yep, that's us right there. And we are going to be departing runway 1, which is this one here. The departure, the Dr. 5 departure, as you can see from runway 01 is going to be this one here. We're going to be climbing through a heading of 334 degrees to join the Rev waypoint, then to Bevel, all the way to Alex, then Doug, and then we're going to fly to the transition, the ADDONS transition, en route to LaGuardia. Arriving into LaGuardia through the Corey 4, as you can see, this is the Corey 4 through the ADDONS transition. Very short flight again, arriving here into Corey. And then we're gonna, the last waypoint is Apple, then to Proud, and then it would be our approach for 04 at LaGuardia. So very simple flight plan. There's nothing complex about it, and this was done by design so that I can. Carl, hello, Carl, Alex, welcome, guys. Glad to have you here. Thank you very much for your continued support. Alex Aviation, how are you doing, my friend? IO, the waypoint has the same name as me. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come here to the, and by the way, I'm going to run this stream in a format that would make this suitable as a future reference for you guys to come in if you want to fly and learn this aircraft. Hopefully I can show you all there is to see, and hopefully we'll do things correctly. So from the ground services, we'll leave this one alone. We're going to come to the weight and balance. You'll see that I have my SimBrief ID here. We're going to request the company route, and this will download the data. As you can see here, this is the departure, payload, and the block fuel view load sheet, and we're going to say load plane. Now this is loaded into the plane, and that will come to this a little later. All right, let's come over here to the overhead panel. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on the battery switches, battery 1 and battery 2. And now the aircraft's going to perform the self-test. You can see the caution here. The instruments are coming up and lighting up. All right, very good. From here, we can test the annunciators, and we can see that all the lights are illuminated. By the way, I love the automation in this aircraft, and it is a very highly automated aircraft, and all of the automation is actually simulated in this version of X-Crafts. All right, CVR test here. This is I don't think that this is something that works right now, but it looks like it's hopefully for a future update. So this is all good here. We're going to come down here and arm the emergency light. The aircraft is already fueled up, ready to go. So if passenger and non-smoking signs are on, sterile cockpit, why not? DC pumps are okay here for the fuel. And then we're going to come here and test the engine fire. Cargo test, checks okay. Nice sounds. And by the way, it sounds exactly like the real aircraft. So very nicely done there. Hydraulics, we can leave. We'll worry about the electrical pump on a little later on. The pressurization, all the switches are in the correct position. And the windshield heat, everything is on this side. All right, good idea to start the APU right now. And so let's go ahead and do that. Right, start. And if we come down here, you'll see that the APU is running. You see the temperature rising and the APU is starting up. And from the outside, you'll be able to see the APU. You can hear the APU, and you can see the heat blare out of the exhaust. Right, here we go. And APU is coming up. Excellent. I use X camera, John, for the views, to change the views. All right, we have a good, now the APU is powering up the aircraft, and we are ready to start setting up. Yeah, all right, perfect. Again, everything is very automated in this aircraft, so that's pretty cool. I like the level of automation in the aircraft. All right, I'm going to bring up the Authentic FMS. Now, this is one of the big things in this version of X-Craft is the Authentic FMS. And the guys over at X-Craft have worked very hard to simulate this as close as possible to the real device in real world, on the real aircraft, and has the attestation of real world pilots. So first thing we're going to go, we're going to the ident here, not that, route. So then first thing here, we're going to check the date, which is May the 5th, 2023. the current time, the Iraq database, and the company's Navigraph. So all is looking good here. Let's go to the routes page, and you can see the origin is already populated as Ronald Reagan Regional Airport. The destination is Kilo Lima Golf Alpha, which is LaGuardia. And today, folks, we are going to be flying a real-world Delta flight. Let me just say fly now. So we have access to the flight plan, and we are Delta 5911. So we are Del 5911. 5911. Okay, that's our flight ID, and we can now activate this. Once you activate, we'll be able to go to the departure. You can see the company route here highlighted, departure today. So the departure runway is runway 01 through the Doctor 5 and the Agard transition. And we're going to apply that. We don't have any other waypoints, so if you look at the flight plan here, from Agard, it's the Corey 4, which is our star, into LaGuardia. So we are just going to say activate, and then we're going to go to the arrival. We're going to select the runway, runway 04. We're going to do the ILS at 04. Then we're going to go back to the arrival. We're going to select the star, which is the Corey 4 through the Agard transition, and we're going to say apply. Excellent. We're going to go to the FPL, and we'll go next. We're just going to make sure we have no discontinuities. Looks like we have one discontinuity here, which we are going to delete. So we are going to delete that and then activate. And now we should have a nice flight plan without any discontinuities, as you can see here. Perfect. Now we can go to the performance initialization. Now, nothing to do on this page. We'll leave that one here. All right, so this page is very important because this page is going to determine, let me put this away for a minute. This is going to determine the profile. So your the climb profile is going to determine based on the cruise altitude, the zero fuel, and the takeoff CG. So we need to enter this information into the FMS. So we're going to bring this here, and we're going to take a note of the information. First, cruise altitude is going to be 25,000 feet for our flight today. And the cruise winds, that is something we can obtain from our flight plan. So if we go up here and we look at the average winds, average wind here, 339,020. All right, 33933. Let me put this here. All right, perfect. 339 and 020, 020, and we add that here. Excellent. Takeoff CG is 24.8, 24.8, and the zero fuel is 59430, 59430. Perfect. All right. Now we have the gross weight, and everything will be calculated for us. That is correct. Yes, Rand. I have been a beta tester of this aircraft, and yeah, they provide me with the entire family for the of the X-Craft E-Jets family. All right. So we have all the information. Now, there are two ways we can do the, we can go to the takeoff page. So from performance, if you go to the takeoff page, we can do all the calculations here. So we can do this and then manually compute these here. And so from takeoff performance and load them, or we can do them through the data link. Let's go ahead and put the information here. So first, let's put the information, the weather information. So the weather information at Ronald Reagan is 287 knots. All right, so 280, 280, and 7 knots. All right, we're going to put that here, and now we have everything here. Benny, it's been a member for 23 months. Benny, thank you so much for your support. Hector, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard and thank you for your support. Happy Friday to you. The 170 is definitely smaller than the Lineage 1000, yes. All right, so now we're going to go to takeoff performance. And you can see that it has automatically updated the airport, the departure runway, the condition, the takeoff weight, and the flaps. We're actually going to go for flaps 2 today. And the wind is 287. So 2807. And the current temperature is 20 Celsius. So 20. And the QNH is 29er. Let's see here. What is our QNH? 3021. 3021. All right, perfect. And we're going to say compute. All right. Now that we have all the data, we can say send to FMS. But before we do this, we have to come here to the data link. So now you can see that this is in white. And once you say send to FMS, you'll see that this now turns to green. We click here and it will now load the speeds. So if we go to performance and takeoff, you can see now we have V1 119. If we rotate at 129, V2 135, and VFS at 181. We'll also take a note here of our pitch trim 2.5 up. And we're pretty much now ready with the FMS. Everything here is ready to go. And we only need to set the, so 3021, right, 3021 is the altimeter. There we go, altimeter is set, and we're going to set our altitude to 25,000 feet. All right. By the way, just very quickly, let me just set this. If you go to the outer circle of the selector, you'll increase in thousands. And if you go to the inner circle, then you increase in hundreds. And now we have 25,000 set. Perfect. Everything is set and ready to go. And we can remove that now. In fact, we can close SimBrief. Yeah, let's go ahead and close SimBrief. All right, there we go. We have everything we need here now. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to turn on the beacon lights. All right, beacon lights are on. All right. Look at those engines. And we can call the pushback truck and push out of our position. We're going to put this on the flight plan page. And we'll put this one, by the way, I'm just going to put this on TRI before we forget. And we're going to put this on the not progress. We're going to leave it on the performance page. And we'll leave it on the climb. All right, there we go. All right, excellent. Everything's good. By the way, we'll take a look at the systems a little later. But by the way, now we have our speeds here. You can see this is, by the way, done very, very well. And you can, by the way, switch this to the old avionics. This is something you can control in the settings menu. So this has the newer avionics for the extracts, for the E-Jets family. Hello there, D. Kin Flyer. Welcome, Raul Rodriguez. Hello, sir. How are you doing today? And we have also Nago. How are you doing, my friend? Might look into picking these up at some point. Well, I'll tell you what, you'll not be disappointed. All right, we have everything ready to go, and we can now push back out of our position. So let's call the pushback truck. Better pushback, start the push.
Ground cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
All right, so where do we want to go? Let's see. We want to go maybe somewhere here. You know what? We'll just push back so that it won't do strange things. We'll just
ground
say
cockpit.
That.
Pro
right.
is driving up.
Perfect. All is looking good, and that's pretty much, guys, the setup. Everything else is pretty automated, and we'll take it step by step, and I'll show you how we program the autopilot right before takeoff. So now we've done the FMS we put in. Now you can see, by the way, the climb profile with all the restrictions. Very, very nicely done by Xcraft. So that is now... and by the way, it will respect exactly what you see here when you're using VNAV. And this aircraft is completely capable of doing VNAV. Obviously LNAV as well, but yeah, the VNAV works exactly as it should. So we'll take a look at that. I've done a few test flights
Okay, all doors and hatches
in
are closed.
different
Ready to
locations,
connect.
and yeah, I'm quite happy with what this aircraft is capable of doing. All right, our brake. Let's set this to rejected takeoff, and we'll just wait now for the
Winching strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start pushback.
All right, we're ready to go. So let's remove the armrest here out of the way. Parking brake is released. Nice sounds. Very nice sounds. Right, he's getting things ready here.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right. We have clearance to start our engines. We're going to start with the engine number 2. Start, run, and start. We're going to hold it for about 3 seconds, and then release. Ignition A, and now the engine is starting. There you go. You can see the engine starting. I'm not sure why he's not pushing us out of our position. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does work. So yeah, that's okay. That's it. In every test that I've done, Better Pushback worked perfectly. But now because we're streaming, it doesn't want to, you know. All right. So,
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
all right, that's fine. We'll go ahead and set the parking brake. Where is it? There we go. Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
We'll just make a turn here and... right, looks like we have a good start. And let's start the second engine. All right, disconnect. I really love the texturing on this aircraft. Just look at that. Look at the fine details on the 3D model.
So it's disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
All right, thank you for your service. You haven't helped us that much, but thank you anyway. All right. Jacob, hello Jacob. Are the wheel, no, they're not there. No, they're not chopped, no. I am using Active Sky. There's a bug in Beta 13 where Better Pushback doesn't work. Ah, I see. That's probably why, because I am using Active Sky, yes. All right, so we are, here's the taxi lights are on. We don't need the inspection light. All the other lights can wait, and we are good to go. We're gonna set flaps too. Listen to those beautiful sounds. Again, for very nice details there on the flap lever, as you can see. And as a quick reminder, guys, as we pull out of the gate here, I am going to be at FS Expo this year in person. I am a platinum sponsor of the event, and I will be available at booth H7. Booth H7, that is. And please do stop by if you're going to be there. Come and say hello, and get your bag of giveaways, courtesy of the Q8 Pilot channel. Yeah, and by the way, I am going to be running a giveaway over there at FS Expo, and I do have one Honeycomb Bravo throttle that I will be giving away during the event. So be sure to visit the booth and come and say hello, and perhaps you'll be one of the lucky winners. And that's, by the way, not the only thing that I'm giving away during the expo, but a lot more. But just be sure to visit me there at the booth, and you'll be able to know all about the giveaways and what you can possibly win. All right. So if we look at the graph here, all right. So we can go all the way to Bravo. Let's see, that's Charlie. All right, we can take Charlie and then head over to runway 01. So let's do that. That's the runway, that's our departing runway. So we're just gonna cross the runway here. We're clear left and right. ATC has cleared us to pass through the runway. And by the way, with the X-Craft, with the E-Jets, generally speaking, you don't really have to apply any throttle, any power. It will just go. It really wants to go, so you don't really have to do anything other than I'm wondering where is there an entry point there? No, there isn't. Okay, that's fine. Let's so it actually it has enough torque to get it moving, even at idle power on the throttle. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and make the turn here and go to the runways over at Ronald Reagan Airport are quite short, so we want to make sure that we have sufficient runway for the departure. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch this here to map. So we're going to go to map so we can see, and the nice thing they've done is on the map you can actually zoom in and out like so. Look at that. That's really, really cool. All right, here we go. So I do like the fact that they thought about this, so while you're flying, you know, you don't have to reach down here to play with the knob. You have everything here on the map. All right, we're entering the runway. Let's go ahead and line up with the runway, and then I'll configure the autopilot with you guys. All right, here we go. Flying today from the U.S. Capitol, not very far from the White House. All right, let's line up. Now, in order to get the aircraft exactly on the center line, let me show you what you need to do. All right, so in this aircraft, let me set the parking brake. You have to align the center line of the runway with this part here. So if we go to the external view, you can see that we are exactly on the center line here. See, and that's the runway. So just make sure that you align this part between the two displays with the center line of the runway to get that center line when you take off or land. Very, very important. Are you using XP Realistic for this one? Yes, sir. I am using XP Realistic. Tango Whiskey Simulations, how are you doing, my friend? Such a beautiful aircraft. I think this will be a must-have add-on for all XP pilots. Tango Whiskey Simulations, absolutely. Absolutely. I do agree with you there without a doubt. All right, let's start configuring the autopilot. Now, again, this aircraft is highly automated, and it's got a very capable VNAV. So what we're going to come here, and we have the altitude set. You can see here in 25,000. And by the way, when you see things in blue, it means that you have command of them. When you see them in magenta, it means that they are controlled by the autopilot system. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to make sure that we have nav. And once you click nav, you'll see LNAV here. Then we're going to click on VNAV. VNAV is not coming now. All right, we'll worry about it later. All right, and we need the auto throttle. Now, when you click auto throttle, what you'll see here is you'll see takeoff 250. No, that's not going to work for us. We're going to have to take this back to about 180, and we will maintain 180 until flaps 2 until 180. At 180 we will switch to flaps 1 and accelerate to 210. At 210 we will retract the flaps and accelerate to 250. So now we have the auto throttle, but also we need to click here on the toga button. All right, now you see roll takeoff. Now you don't see this yet, so it is armed but not active. And all that we need to do now is release the parking brake and give it power, and eventually the auto throttle will take over. So let's give it power here. As you can see now, it has changed to green, and now the auto throttle has taken over. You see this is active now. I'm not sure why we lose the speeds. Now it says hold, so it's holding the current thrust at maximum thrust. Right, V1. Rotate. V2. Positive rate. Gears going up. You can see that LNAV has automatically engaged. VNAV has also engaged. Right, flight change, and we can now engage the autopilot. All right, seems like LNAV. Let me go to VNAV once more. All right, so now you can see LNAV and flight change are both in magenta, and that means it is now controlled by the autopilot, the auto throttle as well. Now we're increasing the speed, and we are climbing to our cruise altitude, which is 25,000 feet. Right, we're approaching 180 knots, flaps 1. Right, so retracting the flaps, and now we're going to accelerate to 210 knots. Come on. All right. Right, that's 204 and 210. All right. Perfect. We're going to 210 knots. We can... All right, that's 210 knots, and now we're going to retract the flaps, and now we're going to accelerate to 240 knots. Right, 240, and we'll maintain 240 until we are above 10,000 feet. We can turn off the APU. And by the way, we forgot the electrical pump, but it did not give us any warnings there. So that might be a bug. Renz, hello my friend, welcome aboard. I can't stay up all night after a long flight, so I have been eagerly awaiting this lovely short hot beauty. Really like the Honeywell NG FMS system and displays. They are done very, very well. Very, very well. Alright, we are still looking good. VNAV and LNAV are doing what they're supposed to do. Here is a nice wing view for you guys as we climb to 25,000 feet. Nice wing flex as well. right, and we're coming up to 10,000 feet, so we can... by the way, we didn't turn on our lights. That's okay. That's my bad. All right, so what we can do now is we can accelerate to 270 knots. We are above 10,000 feet. So let's go ahead and increase the speed to 270 knots, which is the climb speed. 270 is set, and the aircraft is going to maintain its the pitch now so that it can accelerate to 270, and then it will continue the climb once more to 250. We can see the profile here again, and let me just come here. Let's see. There we go. You can see. All right. So now you can see the profile a little better. Let me bring this up. So yeah, you can see this here now, and you can see all the restrictions, and you'll see that LNAV and VNAV will respect all the current restrictions, as you can see here. Now, if you encounter a restriction and the aircraft has to hold, it will not automatically begin to climb or descend, so you're going to have to use flight change to do that. But once you see flight change, it means that it's VNAV here in magenta. Mats Franson just came in with a 100 SEK super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you for your generosity and your support. I appreciate it. I have no idea, Papa Charlie, on when it will be released. Well, if I'm completely honest, I do have an idea, but I cannot say. I'm sorry. Hudson, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. You can use the selector behind the speed knob to change to FMS speed. I don't think that works today. So this actually doesn't work in this version. It looks like maybe something that will be done at a later stage. But yeah, this one is cannot be used right now. As you can see here, it doesn't work. So this is the only only mode for the speed that is available at this point. All right, all's looking good. We continue our climb, 13,000 feet. And by the way, if you want to remove the electronic flight bag, you can simply click here and it will remove it. We can definitely remove it from the first officer's side, and we'll bring it back here for us. We'll leave it there. We'll set it on the landing performance page and leave it for the time being. Continue our climb. And as you can see, everything here is very automated. You don't really have to do anything. Pilot EMB, if the changes to the pink flight path vector after takeoff, it's displaying accurately. Flightline VR, that's bad. Even the old SSG jets can't use FMS speed modes. Wait for a roadmap when they fix that. I think it's something that they will plan on doing. I don't think it takes much from the aircraft at this point in time. Again, it's a very highly automated aircraft, so there isn't really much in terms of workload. It's a very minimal workload aircraft, which is something I really like a lot. All right, we continue the climb, and everything's looking good here. Let me bring this up here. Again, you can see 270 set. Speed, the autopilot is engaged, auto throttle is engaged, LNAV, flight change. You have the restriction here displayed exactly like the real world unit. Okay, we can zoom in a little bit so you guys can see the flight plan. All right, we're approaching the transition altitude in the United States, which is 18,000 feet. So we're going to go ahead and set the Barrow to standard. Hi, Gray Fox. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us this evening, and thank you very much, sir, for your continued support. Being a member here at the channel, I appreciate it. Have you seen any bugs, fails that might keep it from being released soon? Well, see, the aircraft is in release candidate. There's always things that pop up, you know, the last minute. I haven't really seen anything that is too big that would prevent the aircraft from being released on the date that the guys at X-Craft have decided. So, yeah, it's definitely not going to be months before the aircraft is released. So, the thing is, guys, there is so much they need to deal with because they are dealing with X-Plane 12, and X-Plane 12 is still pretty much, you know, a beta product. Even the released version is not fully bug-free. So there are a lot of things they need to work around in order to be able to, you know, release the product. So some things they can do themselves, some things they have to go back to Laminar to help them with and help investigate. But I'll tell you guys, just from my short experience being a beta tester for this aircraft, I can tell you developing add-ons for flight sim is no easy task. It's a very involved ordeal, and it requires a lot of tenacity, a lot of commitment, a lot of patience in order to get things out to us. But yeah, I do like this aircraft a lot. I think it's an aircraft. Now you don't have to buy all the entire family of the E-Jets when it's out. You know, maybe you can buy your, you know, most favorite variant. I think most of the folks out there will prefer the 175 variant. It is the most popular one. And here's a look at the outside. As you can see, guys, this aircraft looks absolutely superb. And the clouds, by the way, from active sky look very nice too. Yeah. I think they've done a lot of changes, and I've made a lot of changes to the settings. I played with the settings for maximum realism. And here is a flyby. Look at those engines. Beautiful texture work. Very fine details. Alright, back in the cockpit, we are approaching the final cruise altitude of 25,000 feet. By the way, this steer that you just saw, the aircraft, in order to make the turn to Agard, has gone first to the left and then to the right. And I think this is a bug in X-Plane. So nothing wrong with the add-on, but this is more than likely a bug in X-Plane. Because I've seen a lot of other aircraft do the same thing. Now you can see that we have arrived at the final cruise altitude, 25,000 feet. Now we can go to 280 knots. All right, 280 knots. And let's see here. Now the top of descent is right here, and I love the fact that you can visually see everything. So this is the top of descent, and now we can go to the landing. So let's go to the performance, and we're going to go to landing. And now you can see again we need our speeds for the landing. So we're going to go to the landing in it, and we can do exactly the same thing here. For the landing weight, though, we're going to go to the takeoff weight was 6.5. So let's say 6.6. So we'll say 6.4. All right. So we're going to say 64,000. All right. And the wind is something that we can get from. Let's see here. We can get it from our charts. All right. So we're going to go to LaGuardia. We're going to select information. And the wind at LaGuardia is 064. So 0, 6, 0, and 4. Let's put this away. All right, and 4. Enter that. And the temperature is going to be, let's see, temperature is 16 Celsius. 16. And the QNH is 3019. All right. 3019. All right. So now we can go again and do the same thing. We're going to say compute. Let me hit enter. All right, enter. All right, that's done. You know what? We can do flaps full. Why not? No icing. And we're going to say compute. Analysis in progress. And now we have the speeds. So we are going to, the approach speed is going to be the VAC. And the landing is going to be VREF. So we're good there if landing flaps is going to be full. And now we can put this here, so just for completeness, and 60, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put 64 here, and the wind is 0604, 060 and 4. And we're going to enter that here. Landing temperature is 16. All right, 16 is set, and now we have everything here. Now, we can go, again, we can go to the data link here, and now you see we have the load landing V-speeds. And now we're going to repeat exactly what we've done earlier. We're going to say send to FMS. Now you see this is in green. We're going to say load the V-speeds. And now if you go to performance and go to landing, we have all our speeds here. Perfect. One more thing we need to do before we begin. By the way, we need to set for top of descent to work. Well, the only thing we need to do is reset the MCP altitude. So we're going to set it to 1700, I believe, is the, let's take a look here at LaGuardia. And we're going to go to the approach. This is the 04, and I love Navigraphs. All right, so 1700 and 110.5. All right. So we're going to change the altitude here. The only thing you need to do is to change the altitude from the current altitude, and exactly at the top of descent mark, you'll see that the aircraft begins the descent. So, and now we can see the indicators here for the glide slope, for the glide path, beg your pardon. So we're going to set this to 1,700. Right, 1,700 is set. And what was the ILS frequency again? 110.5. All right, so we're going to come here to the radio. All right, radio. 110. 110.5. Decimal 5. And we're going to enter that here. And, 110.5. We're going to enter it in nav2 as well. All right, perfect. Now you can see how the needle is coming down, indicating that VNAV, by the way, VNAV is monitoring everything, and it knows that there is a restriction at 19,000. So let's just wait and see. This is the top of descent. Now you see LNAV path, and when you see path, PTH in magenta, it means that VNAV has now taken over, and as you can see now, we have begun the automatic descent towards LaGuardia. Jose, it's supposed to be auto-tuned, but it looks like it is something that is planned in the roadmap. It's supposed to auto-tune 150 nautical miles, according to our good friend, 150 nautical miles from the destination. And you are absolutely right, it should auto-tune. All right, so we're going to go back to our flight plan. We are at Skippy here. And we are descending now. Very, very nice aircraft with lots and lots of automation. All right, we're looking good. And we are about 280. So we can actually start reducing the speed to 270. So let me go to the speed here and go to you know what? leave it for now. We can do it at about when we get closer to 10,000 feet. Looks like it's going to be cloudy over at LaGuardia, and you can see the aircraft is descending along the path that it has automatically calculated. Again, showing all the restrictions along the path towards LaGuardia. And ladies and gentlemen, we have X-Craft with us here in the house. Thank you very much for being here, X-Craft. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for being here. I truly appreciate it. So, as you can see, folks, all is looking good here for the descent. And pretty much on the once we have taken off after 400 feet, you know, you have LNAV after 1200 feet, VNAV, all, you know, engaged. Everything is automated. I think this aircraft is a wonderful aircraft for pilots because it really, the workload in the aircraft is very minimal thanks to the automation. And I think X-Craft has done a really brilliant job modeling all of that in this version of the aircraft. Absolutely brilliant. All looking good. Descending down to 20,000. We're just going to go take a quick note of the information. What is the altimeter here at LaGuardia is 3019er. All right, 3019er as we approach the transition altitude. X-Ways. Is it days, weeks, or months until for release? Hello there, Scott. Welcome aboard, my friend. I find it amazing that Q8 knows how to proficiently fly almost every aircraft. Well, I'll have to say on this one, you know, Marco, the executive director of X-Craft, has helped a lot. He's given me a lot of tips just even before the flight today, which was very helpful. So yeah, it's an aircraft I really like. I own the entire fleet from X-Craft for X-Plane 11. I've always enjoyed the aircraft. I've always enjoyed the Embraer. It's a nice aircraft now. Right, 18,000 feet. Let's set the baro to 3019er. 3019er is set, and you can see that we're a little bit below, so it has increased the rate of descent. Wants to get us back on the center line here, and now we're back. You can see the rate of descent is decreasing once more, and we can actually go ahead and decrease our speed to 270 knots now. That's fine. And continue the descent. Yeah, I think we're looking good. Here's a look at the outside. Looks like we have overcast conditions over at LaGuardia. I just can't help but to admire, you know, the detailing on this model. I love models. Those of you who know me, I have an affinity for 3D models, and generally speaking, models. You know, like I have a lot of die-cast aircraft, cars, and you know, things like tanks and helicopters, and it's just something that's it's a hobby that I've developed over the years. All right, let me look here. All right, that's good. By the way, from these systems, you have all these system status, flight control, hydraulics, fuel, electrical, ECS, NTIs, engine, maintenance still not there, maintenance, and sysconfig. So these are the ones that are not yet modeled. But all of these are modeled, as well as the plan page. So that is also modeled. You can see again the profile, and we're going to go to map. And all of these are, you have, by the way, the weather. So you have the weather radar here. And you also have, you can see the weather here. It's doing the self-test apparently. As we continue the descent here. So it looks like it has completed the test. And also you have the terrain, as you can see here. So it's got the terrain and the weather. We're going to turn these both off for this flight. And by the way, you can see that once you are done with the phase, it will remove everything here. You know, the information that you don't need will be removed. One thing, by the way, those covers need to be closed. All right. And one nice thing you have in the Embraer, and that is simulated on this aircraft, is something called the approach preview. So you can actually leave, you don't want to lose your FMS, but if you click on preview here, it will show you the localizer. And so you know the heading and all that, the course and all that good stuff for your approach. We'll take a look at that once we are closer to our destination. For the time being, we'll just continue the descent. We are now approaching 13,000. At about 12,000, we are going to start reducing our speed. The yellow line is the radar scanning the weather, but the weather will show rain only. I gotcha. Thank you, X-Craft. Motor landing, Allah. Hi there. How are you doing, my friend? Gustav, how are you doing, my friend? That's not a self-test. It shows weather beyond the scope. Okay. I think we have the answer from X-Craft. Glenn, hello Glenn, how are you doing, my friend? Glad to have you here. Our SOPs we used to put preview at 10,000. Oh, okay, well that's what we'll do then. We'll put it at 10,000. I think a lot of the procedural things will differ from airline to airline, but yeah, overall I'm very happy to see everything simulated in the aircraft. Now, when you actually do it is something that will very much depend on all right, so now we have a restriction that we need to be here at exactly 10,000 at Corey. So we are going to start reducing our speed now to 250 knots. Actually, let's go to 240. Right, here we go, 240 knots. Anything below 10,000 feet is fine. Right, we're approaching 10,000 feet. We're going to go ahead and turn on the non-smoking fasten seatbelt sign as well as the landing lights. Excellent. We're looking good. We're slowing down to 240 knots. And now you will see in the profile, so if I increase the range a little bit, you will see here that we start descending again. We already set this to 1700, but it will now respect the restriction here at 10,000 feet. Now, I'm not sure that if VNAV will automatically begin the descent again beyond this point. So once it reaches Tikes, will it actually begin the descent again, or do I have to use flight change? That I am not sure. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, we're looking good. 51 nautical miles to our destination. Pretty cloudy weather conditions here, as you can see. Ooh, look at that. It's going to be an interesting approach into LaGuardia, but that adds to the fun, right? Yeah. Really put the aircraft to the test. And my piloting skill. Yes, VNAV will continue the descent. Perfect. All right, perfect. Thanks for that. MC Crewfish, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Bill Barrett, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. All right, so we're looking here at Romeo Bravo Victor, and we are at 10,000 feet. If we click on preview, and we have the, by the way, if we look here at the approach plate, 044 is the approach course. All right, so approach course is 0044. So we can actually set the course to 044. All right, that's 044. All right, and we're just going to wait for the aircraft to begin the descent. All right, what I'm going to do now, folks, is I'm going to reduce the speed to 210 knots. There we go, 210. And we'll just leave it until we are ready to the final approach. We're, by the way, very close to LaGuardia now. There we go. I'll tell you guys, this aircraft, I haven't said this in a long time for X-Plane, but this is a day one purchase. Really, you will have a blast with this aircraft. It's very well modeled. It's got depth in system simulation. It's got lovely sounds. And yeah, now you can see here, we can see the glide path and we can see the point. And of course, it's bouncing left and right because of the aircraft's current position. But I'm just waiting now for Tikes. The VNAV should begin the descent automatically. We have the ILS tuned and everything ready to go. We are approximately 40 nautical miles from the localizer. All right, let's see if VNAV now does its thing. We can see the needle moving down. And yay, look at that. VNAV is definitely doing its thing. And now we are descending. You have to love the Embraer. I mean, the amount of automation in this aircraft is even better than Airbus. I just love how everything is automated. Really reduces the pilot workload. It makes it a very reliable aircraft. I mean, I think we do have with us a real-world pilot with us here. So, Boeing Corp Mike, how are you doing, my friend? Hello there, Mika. How have you been? Did this aircraft had an update when it released? It looks better than before. No, Mika, it hasn't released yet. It's still in, this is a beta preview, so our release candidate, but hasn't released yet. But yeah, no, it does look, it looks phenomenal. Look at that. 3D model is just wow. By the way, guys, this model is exactly the same model used by the FSS Embraer for Microsoft Flight Simulator. They just purchased the 3D model from the guys at Xcraft. The model is that good. One thing I wanted to point out. Remember in my review of the FSS Embraer, I pointed out something here on the aircraft textures. I don't know if you can see it clearly here, those, you know, jaggies. And it turns out that this is how it is actually on the real aircraft, and this is not a problem with texturing. So I thought that it's important for me to point out. So yeah, this is done in accordance with the real aircraft model. Definitely, yeah, definitely. The automation is what takes all the time, but you guys did a good job, Xcrowd. I must say, I'm very pleased with what you guys have done there. brilliant add-on for X-Plane. And this is one of the things, guys, I like about X-Plane is the fidelity of the add-ons. And we have a number of them now for X-Plane 12. All right, so we are now descending through to 7,000. I see a few restrictions. Actually, I don't see any more restrictions, so we should go straight down to the final approach altitude. This is a bit cluttered here, so all right, so this is Apple, this is Brown, then we're pretty much there. So we can actually start reducing our speed. If we look here, we are 26 nautical miles. No, we can leave it for now. We are 26 nautical miles from the localizer for LaGuardia, runway 04. So we're still looking okay. 6,700. Everything is working according to our plan. By the way, the landing feet elevation is something you can find here. Let me see if I can bring this here. Oop. All right, this is the landing feet elevation here. It's showing 0 here for this specific airport. And here, there we go. That's New York. Yeah. Absolutely, Jose. Yeah. If we, I'm there. I completely agree there with X-Crafts guys. Yeah, I think, I think it's very important that we are patient. Patience is very important, and you don't want to have baked product in the end. And so yeah, I do agree with the fact that let developers take their time to develop, to fix, iron out, and when it's in a state where it can be shared with the community, then it will be shared with the community. But I do understand that when you see something this good, you start, your hands start itching, and you just really want to, want to fly it. And by the way, it's a very joyful aircraft to hand fly, I have to say. On a previous test flight I decided to turn off the autopilot at about 5,000 feet, and I hand flew the aircraft all the way to the approach and landed the aircraft. And it's just so much fun, hand flying this aircraft. It feels very different, by the way, from the FSS Embraer for Microsoft Flight Simulator. A ton of difference in the way it feels and the way it handles. The takeoff, the landing, all of it feels very different. And I believe it's also the fact that X-Plane flight model is very different from Microsoft Flight Simulator. But yeah, I think we are now 17 nautical miles, so I think we can. Yes, I think we're fine. We are still okay. We'll reduce our speed in a little while. The cockpit textures are fantastic. Really, really good. By the way, if you look at the real Embraer in real life, it looks very much like this. So yeah, job well done there. Q8, do you know if the plane is RNAV, RNP capable? Sure, it is RNAV. I'm not sure about RNP, but X-Craft are with us here. They can confirm. I know RNAV approaches work fine. All right, we are now at 3,500. We're getting pretty close to LaGuardia, and I'm going to now go ahead and reduce our speed to 180 knots. So here we go. And by the way, we do have so that's 180. Now you can see here from the preview, you can see the glide slope and the localizer needles already showing there's a restriction of 1800. All right, so you can see them here. So what I'm going to do is the following. I'm going to switch now to VL. This is going to switch to localizer 1, and here we go. Let's do that. VL. Now approach 1 is there. Localizer captured. And we're going to go on approach. And now you see approach 1. And now the aircraft is going to do its thing. Now we are aligned. We're looking ahead. And we're looking good. And now we can go to flaps 1. All right, flaps 1. Look at this beautiful approach, ladies and gentlemen, of the Embraer here at LaGuardia. Let's take a look here. Look at that. Look how beautiful this is. Hello, New York. Look at that. X-plane rocks. All right, here we go. We can see the glide slope is moving down. So we are going to select flaps 2. All right, flaps 2. We are about 7 nautical miles from the airport, so landing gear is coming down. Oh yeah, lovely. All right, we have the runway in sight. Let's go ahead and reduce our speed. Let's go here to 150. Speed check, flaps 3. Takes a little bit of time to... there's the app. We're going to be doing flaps full today. I forgot our speeds. So let me come here and to the landing page. Alright, fine. Alright. Let's go to... There we go. We're a bit just a tad too fast. But that's alright. And flaps full. Excellent. Looking good. 2 reds, 2 whites on the glide slope, on the localizer. What a beautiful approach here into LaGuardia. Hopefully we can do the replay without the sim crashing. There's a bug in X-plane apparently with some aircraft. Right, we can disconnect the
autopilot.
Autopilot. My aircraft.
Approaching minimum. Minimum.
Look at that
minimum.
crosswind. Looks like the autopilot still.
50. 40,
Throttle.
30.
Throttle.
20. 10.
Woohoo! All right, that wasn't a. Looks like the autopilot never disengaged. Ah, I clicked it the second time. Looks like it engaged the autopilot. That's why. All right, so it made it a little difficult to. That was my error. All right. Welcome to LaGuardia, ladies and gentlemen. Hard landing, without a doubt, yeah. You know, the thing is, in my earlier test flight, when I was actually hand flying the aircraft, I did a beautiful landing, and I couldn't do a replay of it. So it was a little bummed out that I wasn't able to do a replay to capture it for the screenshot. The thumbnail of the video, but yeah, that's okay. All right, hopefully we can do a replay. But I think, guys, you were able to see the level of automation in this aircraft. You were able to see the depth of system simulation, the beautiful 3D modeling, the aircraft sounds. By the way, I'm saying this with, again, the notion that all of these things could also use improvement. So it's not like that's it, you know? All of the things, so the 3D model, I think, is perfect. Please X-Craft, don't do anything there, just leave it. It's great, it's brilliant. But we can do one click to disconnect. We don't yet have the need to confirmation to disengage. Got you. That's the reason it re-engaged, looks like the autopilot, and then it caused the issues. So it looks like the autopilot was re-engaged, and that caused the issue. So I wasn't really controlling the aircraft. But nonetheless, I really enjoyed this flight into LaGuardia. The previous flight I've done was London Gatwick into Salzburg, and that approach, I'll tell you, was just really beautiful. But I wanted to find something really short so I can show you everything there is to see in the aircraft, and hopefully you can use this as a future reference to fly the aircraft once it's released and you're ready to purchase it. Again, if you ask me, guys, this is probably one of the aircraft that I would say is a day one purchase. You should get this aircraft. If you use X-Plane, you should definitely get this aircraft because it is, without a doubt, a lot of fun, and it's very well developed. Look at the details here on the panel, just absolutely brilliant. So yeah, so this is something you should definitely get on day one. I don't think there are any spots here where we can park, but looks like there's one there. Just so we'll go and park there, and we'll attempt to do a replay, and hopefully it works. Release of Aegis will only be the beginning. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, you know, the systems. The systems will definitely. There's a lot more depth that can be added to the aircraft. Now, again, I'm starting to really not like the term study level, because it's just mean different things to different people. And to me, for example, a study level means that everything is simulated, including failures, including circuit breakers, all of that. That would be study level. But hey, you know, this is I like what the developer over at the executive director at X-Craft has called this aircraft. He said this is not study level, this is authentic level. And I like that term. I like that terminology, and meaning that everything you see on the aircraft is very authentic. The model, the FMS, you know, authentic FMS, the radios, you know, the VNAV, the FMA, basically the way it operates, the performance data, everything works in an authentic manner. So they have created an authentic experience of the Embraer, and I like that term a lot better than study level, to be honest. So I do like that, and I think I'm going to start using it on the line. Any builds call it on the line. Yeah, I mean that is. Yeah, I mean it's okay. It's an okay terminology on the line, but I prefer authentic level. I like it. Blue Games, hello my friend, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Thank you very much, sir, for being here, guys. If you don't know who Blue Games is, you have got to visit his website. He's a fine gentleman and a good friend of mine, and he is an excellent content creator. He also runs the Blue Experience podcast. He's been interviewing just about everyone in the flight sim community, all the big players from PMDG to Aerosoft. I was once featured on their podcast as well. So he runs both him and XP72. They run a podcast channel, the Blue Experience. Please do make sure you visit his channel, give him a few hundred likes and subscribes, and visit XP72 as well as the XP Experience. Great content creators, great folks, Can't recommend them enough, really. Lots of fun. They'll keep you entertained, that's for sure. All right, let's attempt, guys, to do a quick, let's do it here, toggle replay mode. And I'm just hoping, oh no, come on. Nah, it's not gonna work. All right, it's not going to work, unfortunately. It has frozen X-plane. So I took a chance and it didn't work, unfortunately. So that's that. We did interview X-Crafts. Oh, cool. Yeah, no, thank you, X-Craft, for the opportunity. So we've got it. We've got the X-plane crash. And by the way, that crash, the replay, is nothing to do with the add-on. It's not X-Craft. It's actually X-plane. I get that with almost all the aircraft. Almost all the aircraft. We get it with the I get it with the MD-11. I get it with the Zebo. Only I think the laminar aircraft are the ones that work okay with the replay, and in some situations it just starts really acting very weird. I'm going to try to bring this up again, and I just want to show you guys a different variant because I don't think I've showed that in the let's see here, the 175 you've seen in my first look video. Let's go to the E195. And we're going to select a different livery. Let's pick the jet blue livery. Yeah, that's fine, jet blue. And we're going to just bring it loaded here over at Ronald Reagan again, and I'll take a look at it. I don't think I've shown you guys that in the first look video. XP72, hello, my friend. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Two of my favorite content creators are here, Blue Games and XP72. Again, guys, please visit XP72 and Blue Games. Give them a few hundred likes and subscribes. Excellent, excellent content creators. And if you like, by the way, I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to do flights on VATSIM. XP72 is always on VATSIM. So if you like that kind of stuff, please do visit his channel, subscribe, and please, guys, be sure to subscribe to the Blue Experience, which is a podcast channel run by both Blue Games and XP72. It's excellent. I enjoy just going back in time and looking at all the interviews that they've done. Again, you can listen to V1, you know, all the you know, all your favorites. Developers and content creators have been featured on the Blue Experience. A great effort by those two, and I hope to see you both, XP72 and Blue Games. I hope to see you in Houston. I will be there, guys, and I have booth H7. Please come and say hello. All right, so this is the E195. Look at how long this aircraft is. So this is the you know, the bigger variant of the aircraft. Again, it looks really brilliant. We'll probably do it next. We'll do the E195 next. So today we've done the smallest of them all, the baby E-Jet, and the 170, and this is the 195. So this is the biggest one, aside from the Lineage 1000. And if we go again, look at those beautiful, you know, beautiful engines, and they're just really on the texturing. They've done a brilliant job, really, with how this aircraft looks, and the details are just wow, really good. All right, let me show you one more thing before we call it a day. And I'm sorry the you know, the thing crashed, but I was kind of, yeah, there we go. The door opens. Okay. And by the way, the entire cabin is actually done very well. Now look at that. This is pretty cool. Yeah, look at those seats. This is business class, and that's economy. Again, I did a very quick look during my first look preview, but this is again what things you can see. Even the carpet here. Look at that. The emergency lights all the way there. Nice attention to detail. Really nice attention to detail. And look at those leather seats, man. They look really good. Yeah. So, I mean, you have a really nice passenger cabin. I'm not too big, by the way, on passenger cabins, but I know a lot of you guys are. And this one has a beautiful passenger cabin. Yeah, look at that. Now, another thing I did not show you in the first look video, it was a kind of a brief video, is right here. So here, let me first just close this here. All right, so we're back in cold and dark. All right, perfect. So one thing that you will that we haven't shown is so we're gonna go ahead and open the doors, and we're gonna put the ground objects. So all of these can actually engine covers. I think we need the, let's see here, we can do it now. No, it doesn't want to do that one. All right, so GPU. All right, let's switch to the outside. All right, so this aircraft has all the ground elements. You can open all its doors. You can see again here, when you connect the GPU, it's not just that it's there, but you actually get an X-Craft GPU that has the proper wires coming here, extending and connecting to the power panel here in the aircraft. You can see that you can open all the doors, and look at the detail. When you open the door, you see that here the handle, the door handle is actually there, and if you click that, then look at this beautiful animation. Look at that. I mean, that level of detail is something I really like. Really brilliant aircraft by X-Craft. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is pretty much what I wanted to share with you in this live stream. I hope that you have enjoyed this live stream as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. More to come on the X-Craft in the days to come. Please stay tuned for additional couple of streams this coming in the next couple of days. One is going to be on the MD-80, which has been released for X-Plane 12. We're going to be delving into it, doing a full flight and showing you all the updates. And also we're going to be revisiting the Tolus A320neo, which also has received a significant update recently with new sounds and bug fixes, as well as some new texturing as well. So we're going to be taking a look at that during the next couple of days. A few more sceneries for me to showcase here on the channel. So until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, and bye-bye for now.